Welcome back, students. Today, we are going to be learning all about Chapter 3 of Stevenson's strange case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. In this chapter, Stevenson introduces us to the much-talked-about Dr. Jekyll and illustrates the friendship between the Doctor and our trustworthy narrator, Utterson. Such a friendship, we discover, is strongly founded upon the principle of trust, and Utterson's penchant for silence and strict adherence to his word builds this bond of belief between the pair. This chapter is not all smiles and amicable chit-chat, however. Indeed, we gain a valuable insight into the conflict hinted at in the previous chapter between the innovative scientific pursuits of Jekyll and the conservative, traditional endeavours of Lanyon. Though Utterson refuses to weigh in on the subject, the tension between these two viewpoints is palpable, and it becomes clear that silence will not be able to solve such a struggle. Without further ado then, it's time to meet the eponymous Doctor himself. Here we go! In this chapter, Mr. Utterson attends a dinner party at Dr. Jekyll's home, where he lingers behind to discuss the unsettling topic of Jekyll's will. Despite Jekyll's attempts to divert the conversation, Utterson presses on, expressing his disapproval of the will and his concerns about Hyde. Jekyll, visibly distressed, assures Utterson that he can rid himself of Hyde when he chooses, but pleads for the matter to be dropped. Utterson, though skeptical, agrees to respect Jekyll's wishes. However, before leaving, Jekyll makes a heartfelt request to Utterson to look out for Hyde's welfare in case anything happens to him, emphasizing his sincere concern for Hyde's well-being. Although Utterson reluctantly agrees, he admits that he will never like Hyde but promises to ensure justice for him out of loyalty to Jekyll. Despite Jekyll's reassurance, Utterson remains troubled by the situation and the implications of Jekyll's connection to Hyde. Chapter 3 of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde delves deeper into the character of Mr. Utterson, highlighting his role as a stoic observer amidst the tumultuous events unfolding around him. Utterson's penchant for silence and restraint emerges as a central theme as he navigates the complexities of his relationship with Dr. Jekyll and the enigmatic Mr. Hyde. Stevenson portrays Utterson as a figure of quiet strength and integrity, whose reserved demeanour belies a keen sense of moral responsibility. Utterson's willingness to remain silent in the face of uncertainty reflects his adherence to Victorian notions of propriety and decorum, even as he grapples with the unsettling truths lurking beneath the surface. His reluctance to pry into Jekyll's affairs underscores the pervasive atmosphere of secrecy and repression that characterises Victorian society, where individuals are expected to maintain a facade of respectability at all costs. Through Utterson's introspective musings and understated interactions, Stevenson encourages readers to contemplate the complexities of human nature and the allure of silence in the face of moral ambiguity. Furthermore, Stevenson also uses this chapter to explore further the tension between scientific progress and oppressive ignorance. Dr. Jekyll's willingness to embrace the unknown reflects a rejection of the limitations imposed by traditional scientific and religious dogma as he seeks to transcend the boundaries of human understanding through his experimentation. In contrast, Mr. Utterson's skepticism and reluctance to engage with Jekyll's scientific endeavours highlight the pervasive ignorance and fear that ruled Victorian society. Jekyll shuns this conservatism and ignorance, furiously insisting that Lanyon is nothing more than an ignorant pedant for shunning his scientific findings and putting distance between the two doctors. Ultimately, through the interactions in this chapter, Stevenson invites readers to consider the implications of scientific discovery and the dangers of clinging to ignorance in the face of innovation. And with that, we've reached the end of our analysis of Chapter 3 of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Through unpicking the interactions between Mr. Utterson and Dr. Jekyll, we have analysed the profound exploration of trust and loyalty that Stevenson carries out in this chapter. We have learnt how Utterson's steadfast commitment to silence, despite his growing unease, serves as a testament to the moral integrity that defines his character and the appeal that he holds within his circle. We have also discussed how Jekyll's pursuit of scientific innovation stands in stark contrast to the prevailing ignorance and skepticism of Victorian society, challenging traditional boundaries and inviting scrutiny from his peers. With these complex relationships and ardent tensions now in place, the stakes of the tale seem to have risen. Join me in our next exploration as we continue to unravel the secrets concealed within Stevenson's timeless tale and get one step closer to discovering whether tradition or innovations wins out in the end.